show.
We have such sights to show you.
Welcome back to the Double Movie View It, a horror podcast. I'm Jesse Spitzer.
And I am J.R. Lees.
And this episode, we're going to be talking about The Wall. I am so excited. I love this movie. I had my stepdad on to talk about it with us. And yeah, it's going to be a good talk. Let's jump into it. And as promised, we are here joined with my stepfather, Jeffrey, to talk about The Wall. I am so excited to talk about this. I'm sorry, did you not like that I used your government name, Jeffrey?
No.
Sorry, just Jeff. But yeah, I'll full transparency here. I wanted to get Jeff on the podcast, and I also wanted to talk about The Wall. So I figured this would be the perfect opportunity because Jeff was the one that introduced me to The Wall, as he introduced me to pretty much anything music related that is in my life. So yeah,
So
here we are.
Nickelback, right?
Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna talk about The Wall here. Movie I've seen more times than I probably have listened to the album. Well, that's not true. I've listened to the album more, but I've watched this movie a lot throughout the years. Jason, this was your first ever time.
My first time. Yeah, my first time.
I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on it.
Well, first of all, I mean, Pink Floyd for me, and I apologize to obviously fans. In college, it was every day at the dorms to the point where I got sick of it. It was just, I don't know what it was. It was Cedar Falls. It was their station. They played it nonstop, enough to get tired of it. And then when I worked in a nursing home, I was in the laundry. It's the same thing every morning for like 2 hours. It felt like there'd be a Pink Floyd block, and I'm like, this is fine, you know, like anything else. When you play it too much and you associate it with, you know, laundry. And I had never seen this, and it's one of the things that people didn't push on me, but asked about it, and I would just lie. Oh yeah, it was great, and I'd never seen it because I had this bad taste in my mouth of like 70s, 80s bands doing like rock operas, the Bee Gees, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. So I just had that in my head. I'm like going, and I'm not trying to insult anyone here now. So I just thought, oh, it's going to be something like that, like a vanity project. So when Jesse brought it up and we watched it, and you kept saying, "Is this horror enough?" Mm-hmm. I'm like, in the first 5 minutes, it's the most horrifying stuff ever. The war reenactments, and then the bloody wrist, and then the kids just with the faces. I mean, this is absolutely nightmare fuel. So yeah. And how old you saw this first time, Jess?
First time I watched it, probably, I don't know, like 12 maybe. Okay. That's pretty young. Too young for sure.
I don't know about two, because that's when people are getting in the music you love at 12, you love your whole life, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So I can see this being like formative for you, you know. I wish I would have seen this earlier. And there's so many people in this. I mean, the guy that made it, that directed it, did Angel Heart, the Mickey Rourke movie, and then like Bob Hoskins pops in for no reason at all. You know, the guy from Roger Rabbit. The American groupie is Jenny Wright from Near Dark. She pops up. I'm going, I didn't know she was alive in 82. I thought she just appeared in like 87, 88. So I'm watching this, and it's just weird. And I didn't know it was going to be a full-on, pretty much an opera, because it's completely sung the entire thing.
Yep.
And I didn't know. For some reason, I thought it was the band we're going to be playing. Again, assumptions the whole time. I didn't know it was Bob Geldof as Pink, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And I know him as like a producer. So I'm just the whole time I'm kind of going, what is this? You know. And we had to turn off the. Oh, it's like, what is this movie? And it's going forth, and it goes back and forth, and it's a great movie, you know. And then having heard the album so many times, when the songs aren't exactly as the radio version, I kept getting thrown off. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And the heartbreaking, I don't know what song it's the end up when it's the operator trying to connect them. And I've never realized it's because the guy answered the phone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my child has exploded, you know. No, but this has got some imagery that's going to stick with me for a while.
Jeff, what was your first experience watching this?
Well, surprisingly, it was in the 90s after I'd gotten sober.
Okay.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, because like you were saying, in the dorm, they were playing it all the time. In the barracks, they were too.
Oh, I bet.
And I mean, I loved the album, and it kind of became, well, no, I must have watched it. No, I heard the album. I heard the album because the album came out in '79. And for me, Comfortably Numb was my life's song. That's
Okay.
all I wanted to do, was to be comfortably numb. I didn't want to feel anything. I didn't want, to have any emotions. I didn't want to have anybody try and connect with me. And for the longest time, that was where I was at.
Mm-hmm.
So that was actually my using album for the longest time. But then I didn't see the movie until after I'd actually gotten sober. So that would have been in the early '90s.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's interesting that because I obviously not in the same vein, but I kind of have a similar situation where the kind of the lessons that this album is trying to teach you. I listened to this album while I was practicing the exact opposite of what the because I listened a lot in high school when I was very emotionally detached and like very just uninterested in engaging emotionally with anything or anyone. um and like the album really is like the whole lesson to be learned from the album and the movie is that like that's not the way to go about things. That's how you hurt people around you, you know but still I was listening to it and engaging and doing the exact opposite. So it's kind of interesting that you also had a similar situation with that. But yeah, let's talk about the plot a little bit because it's not this is not a plot heavy movie. Well,
No.
it doesn't. At least it doesn't really wear the plot on the sleeve very much. To the point where I'm actually curious, Jason, your take on this, because I feel like this. There's a lot of context that you kind of got to dig for, and having a fresh first viewing, I'm curious, like how accessible do you think this movie is for someone to just kind of dive in and not do any research prior and just just kind of let it happen?
I'm wondering if it means something different in 2026 than it did in 82.
Sure.
And if it's in the album 79, and I'm like, it's my wife and I were talking about this. Is this in 82? Is it about Vietnam? Whereas opposed to it's depicting World War I or two. I mean,
Yeah.
two. But most things in like in the 80s and when they weren't about Vietnam, you weren't allowed to like show a movie about Vietnam because it was too soon.
Sure.
So they would use like World War II and whatnot. Like MASH is in Korea, even though it's all about Vietnam. But I'm like going, so now watching it now, it's easy to go, oh, this would be Vietnam because it's not lining up anything else, even as far as the kids go after war and how the kids are just brick on the wall as far as they're just now we have drones. We don't have to, send kids off per se to just be the weapon. I think it's so. I'm not saying it's not obtuse. It's not thick or heavy handed about it. It's not. It's just really gorgeous.
Yeah.
But I think if someone wanted to watch it for a story, they might be kind of thrown off. But no, because I don't think so. Because every time that you start getting kind of heavy handed, they switch time frames.
Yeah.
They go back to the childhood. They go back to the kid and the mom, and then the now stuff. So I don't think it ever gets like distracting or anything.
Okay.
But I think even me being a dummy caught on to it.
Yeah. I was gonna say because usually we would do like a spoiler discussion, but I almost feel like this movie you can listen to this podcast. We could talk about the entire plot, and you could still enjoy the movie afterwards. You might even find more things to enjoy because you have the context of everything. But yeah, do you want to just kind of, Jeff, maybe give like a brief kind of plot synopsis of what this movie is about?
Well, what I didn't know, because I had been told that this was the life story of Roger Waters.
Mm-hmm.
And what I have since learned was it's Roger Waters and it's Syd Barrett.
Oh, sure.
Because Syd Barrett was their original lyricist and guitarist. And so it's about his drug usage and then fall into mental illness. He had basically overdosed on LSD, and it just totally took over. And he left Pink Floyd in 1968, and then tried to do solo stuff until 75, and then he just completely retired and went off into his English home and pretty much stayed there until he died.
Yeah.
So it was his drug usage. And then when you're seeing the World War II footage, that's about Roger Waters's life, because his father was in the war during World War II. So all of these songs either relate to Sid or they relate to Roger's childhood and his fear of abandonment, and then how his mother was overpowering. It's just, it's also kind of into his mental illness as well. That all the issues that were brought up from his childhood, that then you throw those both together and it makes the movie kind of cool, because you're bouncing from one to the other, back to the one, back to the other. And I was really impressed with the movie like that, because it's just, I mean, and I told you, it's like, I didn't see this as a horror movie, but then when I go back and see, I mean, the kids in the grinder coming out as meat, that's pretty horror type of thing.
Yeah.
But it wasn't my normal. And the sad part is I'm not really a horror fan.
Right. That's something I want to get into.
My parents, the only time we went to a movie was at the drive-in.
Sure.
And so I'm 10 years old when they took us to, and my little brothers took us to see The Exorcist. Okay, so that one still freaks me out to this day.
Yeah.
And I just never really got back into it for years, until probably reading Stephen King.
Oh, sure.
So, and that, besides that one, there was a movie, and I think it was early 80s, called The House. And it was with William Catt, who played America's Greatest Hero.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was funny as hell. And so it's like, hey, this is kind of cool, that I started going to some. But opposite of Jason, I am not a slasher fan.
Sure.
And I get more into the suspenseful, especially if they have a religious connotation. I like, the Conjurings and stuff like that I will see over and over and over again. But back in the 70s, as a teenager, I would see, Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and all of those, but it was more because there was boobs. So that's the only reason I went to those shows, was because you knew. I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis had some nice boobs at that time.
They're still nice, man. I mean, come on.
Well, they are actually, yeah.
All right, put a timestamp here on what to cut out.
I'm not wrong.
So to get us back on the rails,
very funny, because when I was a kid watching certain movies, I would pick them out for the same criteria. I'm 13 or 14. Am I going, I want to see that particular part of anatomy? And I'd find these weird ones that I didn't like. One time, the gas station rented something they should not have had, and it was hardcore, but it was a Dracula title that should not have been on the shelf were me saw it. I saw way too much. And then I would rent something like A Clockwork Orange, which I thought, oh, that's on the back cover. There's a girl there, and I put it in going, oh, that's there is nudity.
Yeah,
but I'm like, oh, my brain hurts now. And I'm not the same person I was when I started this thing, and I come across those things. Mother's Day was like that. The from the 80s. I think it was from 80. Oh, this looks kind of like it's going to be like a Jason, like a slasher movie, and I'm like, oh, people should respect women more. That's a movie that taught that by accident. I spit in your grave. That great poster art with Demi Moore. Oh, this is gonna be. I'm gonna make sure no one's around when I watch this one, and I'm coming out there going, God, men are just garbage. Every last man is garbage, and we're terrible people, and we should all be put down. So yeah, horror giving us a lesson and stuff.
To get us back on the rails here. So the plot of the movie, it's essentially, as you said, it's kind of a double story. It's like Roger Waters and Syd Barrett, and it's all kind of culminates into the life of a character named Pink Floyd, who, as you said, grew up without a father. Went through kind of an overly protective mother, into a relationship that he wasn't able to maintain, and she ends up cheating on him. And this all just kind of leads to everything is another brick in this wall, this metaphorical wall between him and the world, where he emotionally detaches himself, and then kind of transforms into this monstrous Nazi, essentially, and just has nothing but hate and disdain for the world. And it's just it's told in such a fascinating way because, like you said, Jason, there's no dialogue in this movie. It's essentially, it really is just a really long music video.
Yeah, you can look at it that way.
For the entire album. And it's so cool that it's able to, the way that this album was written, and I actually believe I think they did plan on having a movie at some point when they were putting the album together anyways. And you can kind of tell that the way that the album is written is so, it has imagery in mind so much, like what you can do with walls and bricks and beyond that, like just the imagery of World War II and the beautiful animated sequences that take place. It's just a fascinating movie that you really can just kind of put on and just let it kind of take you and suck you in. And it's just, I love this movie more every time I watch it. And I'm so glad that you also liked it, Jason.
Oh yeah.
And I'm glad that you showed it to me, Jeff, but way back in the day, because, because I think it's just an important, and I think I've landed on, it is at least horror adjacent. It's not, a lot of the imagery is intense. Probably the most infamous scene in this movie is the animated sex scene, depicted by flowers and demons biting each other. And
I don't know if it's about sex, Jess. I think you're reading into that too much. It's clearly about pollination. I don't. Yeah.
Yep. I think there's so many themes also in this movie, because it's based on an album. Generally, an album has lots of themes, and I think that it's such a cool thing to be able to map all of those themes into this movie so well. And yeah, I'm fascinated by this movie.
Well, and I agree with you about possibly the album being written with the intention of a movie, because if you listen to a lot of people, they say that this is Roger Waters' album.
Yeah.
I mean, the other guys help, but it's his album, and then he's the one that does the screenplay. So I'm assuming that is 100% correct, that he had all of that in mind.
Yeah. You almost would have to. And it's so cool. I love that they both tell the story so well, in their own kind of unique ways. The I think the big standout moments for me, obviously the Goodbye Blue Sky is the first animated sequence, and it's just a depiction of World War II,
Yeah.
and the destruction and the uh, pain of war. Essentially, I mean, uh, it is kind of mind blowing. The visuals, and I am pretty sure the animator is the guy who went on to make Hercules for Disney, which is kind of wild.
So this is a prequel to that. Okay.
Right, right. um, but yeah, I don't know. I think all those animated sequences are probably my favorite part. Especially, I mean the three main ones. You have the Goodbye Blue Sky. You have the Empty Spaces, which starts with that crazy sex scene, and then becomes this like just hellscape of like uh items and objects as the main character is kind of discovering that he can't find satisfaction in anything,
Yeah.
which is just something that's very relatable and also horrifying when ramped up to that scale. And then the finale is also animated, the trial, which is just I really want to get your thoughts, Jason, on the trial. Did you go into this particular part of the movie unspoiled? Like, have you seen anything from the trial before?
No, I had.
Okay, so
I didn't see it.
what was your thoughts on the big finale?
Oh man. I think by that point I was comfortably numb, and I was just receiving,
Yeah.
I always have a disconnect when it goes when animation pops up. And then then again, this is a me thing. This is no fault of the movie. I start wondering, okay, were they going to plan on doing this in real? I know they had like a budget got chopped off before when he pitched it, and then they go, we can't afford that. So some bits were animated. There were some story bits they decided to go animation. They weren't going to make that stuff practically, like the pollination scene. Why I'm being so polite now, I have no fucking idea. But at the end, I remember thinking that brought me back to like, I'm not like thinking about, I'm going, oh yeah, this is when music says something. This wasn't like, oh, and by the way, here's your plot, here's the bad guy gets away kind of thing. And I was spacing off going, okay, at what point did they decide to have that be the end of the movie? Well, now, like I was wondering, I was gonna ask you guys, the album order of songs, is it the same as the order of the songs in the movie?
Yes.
Okay, it is. So
yep. So this is the last. I think there's one more track at the end of the album that's just the kind of slow. I don't remember what it's called, but it's actually one of my. I think it's one of the best parts of the album, and it's something that I think is it missing from this movie? Is there? I'll be honest. The last like 3 minutes of the movie, I was a little distracted. I was hoping to go back and watch the last 3 minutes, but I didn't get the chance to. But I think the ending of this movie doesn't have that little monologue at the end.
No, I don't.
Yeah, which
I
is
didn't notice it.
severely missing. I want to pull up. Let me read it because I think it kind of encapsulates the entire album really good. You guys vamp while I pull this up.
Yeah, anyway, Jesse owes me $20 now for this because as soon as the movie was done, I had to buy it because now I want to know.
Hell yeah.
I want to have, because that's the sign of a good movie, because I'm a cheap bastard. So I bought it like I have a used copy on Amazon coming. It's still $20 because I had to find the one that had the documentary on it. It would fill me in, and had to have a commentary track that was talking about the stories of it. And I wanted to have, I just wanted my version not to say, Portugal, Pink Floyd across the top of it, which is a great version on YouTube to watch as long as you're going to eventually.
Yeah, I was gonna reference the Portugal.
Because this is one that I'm going to want to watch with actually digest again.
Mhm.
I hate being at the whim of, is it going to be on Prime? Is it going to be streaming someplace? I want to have it on the shelf so I can sit there and tear it down.
It's a hard movie to get your
Take it
hands
down.
on. If you don't,
Which is cool. I like the fact that people aren't selling their copies of it.
Yeah.
So you just got to go find, like a brick and mortar place.
Yeah, so the last track is called Outside the Wall. It's really short here. I'm just going to read it off. All alone or in twos, the ones who really love you walk up and down outside the wall. Some hand in hand, some gather together in bands. The bleeding hearts and the artists make their stand. And when they've given you their all, some stagger and fall. After all, it's not easy banging your heart against some mad bugger's wall. And I fucking love that track so much because the album's kind of almost claustrophobic in how it hones in on the perspective of Pink Floyd, the character Pink Floyd. Everything is through his eyes, even when other characters are speaking, like Mother, for instance, in the track Mother, you know, the mom is responding like, oh, I'm going to put all my insecurities into you. I'm going to, you know, that's not his mother's intentions at all. That's his perspective of like his mother's force on him. And so that last track, it's the only time in the album where you're getting another perspective and you're seeing like, oh, this is the toll that putting up a wall can put on others. And I love that so much. I really wish it was included in the movie. I'm not sure why it's not. I guess it just
could have been the version we
that's also possible. Yeah. The Portugal version. But yeah, I just that finale, and it's something that it's kind of weird to me that the album came out first almost because of how theatrical that finale is. That like listening to it, it's just kind of like I mean I probably listened to that track maybe once or twice prior to seeing the movie, and now I can't listen to that without playing the images of the giant asshole judge, you know, stomping around and yeah, it's so cool. Go ahead.
I wonder if it was, I mean, if they purposely released the album first because it was such an experimental album that they wanted to know that it was going to be successful before pumping more money into the movie.
And boy, howdy, was it successful. Oh my God. I mean, like some of the biggest Pink Floyd tracks come from this album.
Well, and then to come out with a double album, I mean, that's pretty rare for something like that. And then to have it, like you said, everything almost was a hit.
Yeah.
It's almost like I thought it was a greatest hits album for a long time, but it
feels that way.
It feels like it.
Yeah.
But again, then something like the kids marching though is such. God, it makes you wonder because like obviously they can shoot that and have the album from like 3 years before, so they can just use the audio to you know to lay it out. But I don't get a sense that guy in the movie, the teacher, I've seen other places when he's yelling, you know, how can you have your meat if you don't eat your pudding? That guy, which by the way, I hate pudding. I never got that. Eat as a vegan.
Yeah, I'm down for the meat.
Yeah, come on. But so that's I'm watching it now. I'm wondering, is that guy even the same guy who's the audio track, the actor in the movie? Because that was 3 years later.
That's a great question.
But it goes so well. It's almost, and then the marching of the kids. It's like they could have shot that to match up with the thing. But I mean, there's no way I'm ever going to listen to that song again and not see the kids going across into the grind. And my wife, who really appreciated the young Pink. And then the adult Pink actually looked like it could be the same. She has her big thing is people can fly in space and have explosions and you know past Neptune is fine. She accepts that. That's fine. But if the bone structure doesn't line up with the young actors, then she's like, I'll read a book. But she pointed out that the and almost like reflexively to protect herself, when the kids are falling into the meat grinder, she's like, those are adults. Those are not kids. Those are actually full-grown adults wearing a bigger mask. And I'm watching, kind of going, is that less horrifying? And Kat's just like, people all suck. Doesn't matter. But it's like like she had to point out that almost like she just didn't want to have kids go in there.
Sure. Yeah, it's more comforting.
That whole bit is as good as anything else I've seen in film. I mean, I'm talking about like
the way that just the depiction of a school as a slaughterhouse is done so well. You have the hallways and the the teachers kind of watching after the livestock and things. It is really
prodding them.
It's very upsetting. And they, oh my God, the casting of that teacher is just perfect. Like that guy is he's phenomenal. And I think this movie I kind of split into thirds. There's kind of the first third, which is the or acts as some people might the first is him as a child, and this one is probably my least favorite because it's so kind of sad. The scene where he's in the park is like so heartbreaking. he doesn't have his father, and his mother is obviously a widow and can't give 100% attention to the kid, and so he's just kind of aimlessly walking around a park and trying to engage with any adult that's like will give him the time of day, and none of them really will.
That was the scene where it made me a fan, because he's going around, he's grabbing adult hands,
Mm-hmm.
and he grabs one guy's hand, the guy just kind of shrugs it away, and I'm like, okay, I get it. I mean,
Yeah.
we get it. He doesn't have a dad. Okay, movie, you're being a little bit, and he does it again, and I'm like, okay, I said, did you hear me? I said I got it. And then the third one, and then I'm like, I'm almost in tears.
Yeah.
As a kid who didn't have a dad around, I'm like, oh, they're just making sure they're not. It's not about, oh, did you get it? It was like, it's showing how sad this kid is.
Yeah,
like he just
exactly.
desperately wants to have this figure in his life.
Mm-hmm.
So it went
Well,
from me being like, good.
Not only that, but that's where he starts to build his wall.
Mm-hmm.
He starts to build a wall to protect him from relationships that he don't have.
Yeah.
That see, for me, I totally relate with that because of my behavior as a child, and then as I grow up into adulthood, into my addiction, I slowly keep putting another brick and another brick and another brick, because of the bullying, the being told that you're stupid or you won't amount. All of these bricks build up starting at an early age.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's something that's really fascinating with this too, is how the mother figure kind of cements that and that it's weird because I really don't think, and I love that this movie does not make the mom into like a cartoonishly overbearing,
which surprised me for the era.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's very subtle. You could make the argument that really the mom didn't do anything wrong. I don't think she did, in the depiction of this movie. In the words, which is again from Pink Floyd's perspective, the character. I always have to say the character because I don't want people to think that I'm referring to the band. But perspective
and then
of the
Die
character,
Hard kicked the door down. Yeah.
Right. The perspective of the character Pink Floyd is he sees that, like, looking back, that his mother was overbearing and that she did all these things, but it's like at the end of the day, I don't think. I mean, she seems like she's a loving mother. That's loving him unconditionally, and the unconditional love, I think, is what kind of bites him in the ass in the second act when he is having his own relationship with a woman, his wife, and she doesn't show him that unconditional love because obviously in a relationship that's not unconditional, there are conditions to a relationship, to a healthy relationship, and I like the parallel of him. He's frightened of the shadows on his ceiling, so he goes into his mom's bedroom, and then later on we see after he dismisses his wife because he's not interested in the moment, later on he does want that attention, and there's kind of a parallel of him approaching his wife in bed in the same way, but she gives him the cold shoulder, just like he did to her, in the scene prior. And I love all those parallels of this movie. This movie loves kind of showing how people either indirectly or directly hurt Pink, and then how he takes that lesson, develops a negative trait over it, and then in turn hurts somebody else because of it. And this movie does that constantly, and sometimes it's super subtle. And sometimes it's more on the nose. The big one, I think, is by the third act when we're comfortably numb to the point where, you really get the sense that he wants to just kind of just sit in front of his TV and die. Like, he doesn't really want to engage in the world anymore, but because he's this rock star, he doesn't have a choice. The show must go on. That's the next track is his manager coming into his room and drugging him up and like, let's get you up, let's get you going. And in turn, because of that lack of interest in engaging in the world, but being forced to, all he has is this hatred, and it literally transforms him into a Nazi, which is amazing imagery for today.
Yeah.
Like I got the chills watching those scenes. I think that this third part is probably my favorite part of the entire movie. But just like how the teacher was kind of stripping identity from the students and making them into these perfect meat moldings, he in turn starts to preach hatred and just vitriol to his audience, and his audience are also becoming these like mold monsters because of it. And I love that so much. I love the self-awareness that Roger Waters must have to just kind of recognize that and be able to put it so beautifully on paper. Is just, it really is just like, God damn it, I love this movie. You know? Yeah, I don't know. There's just so much that you can just find and every time I watch this movie, I kind of pick up on different themes and new things, and I think that's obviously the best quality a movie can have, is just that you can just keep revisiting it and learning more about the world and yourself, and it's really fascinating, cool stuff.
It makes me wonder, when they're writing albums before this and whatnot, do they, obviously a song isn't as a movie, but I wonder if they have visuals in their mind they're writing too for other albums. You know, it's just
Sure.
The Dark Side of the Moon. Does he have an entire
That they were watching Wizard of
movie
Oz
playing? Yeah. So they cheated.
right?
They were the first AI. They were just cramping off that. But I mean, I never think about music writing as being that visual, even though that's a dumb thing for me to think that, because most songs do describe things very visually. You know?
Sure.
Yeah.
No, I know what you're saying though. It is interesting to kind of get a peek behind the curtain of, like, I imagine a lot of Roger Waters didn't direct the movie, but I'm sure he had quite a hand in the visuals, and and yeah, it is kind of fascinating to kind of listen to the album. Unfortunately for me, the album and the movie are so intertwined in my brain that I can't listen to the album without seeing the movie in my head.
Yeah.
But I wish
I've seen it once now, and from now on, when I hear the songs,
sure,
I'm gonna be seeing the movie. So it's not. There's no way around that.
But I would love to see more projects in the future from people of making an album and then making a movie, in this exact same way, to kind of, because there's albums that I love, like Master of Puppets Metallica is an album that I think has a lot of visual meat to it, that when I'm listening to it, I am playing images in my head, and it would be so cool to see a movie depicting what was going through the head of the lead singer of Metallica, whose name I can't think of.
Hetfield.
Yeah, James. To kind of see like the parallels between what I visualize and what he was visualizing, and that's something you can kind of do with this project in general. Is you can kind of watch it two different ways.
Now, I'm really new to this whole genre. I mean, I know it exists, but are there more films like this? Is Tommy like this? The Who? The Who, is that right?
I'm not familiar with that one.
Okay, I know it's another operetta kind of thing.
Yeah.
Was there a movie? I don't think I've seen the movie.
Well, I thought there. I mean, again, like I said, I'm new to this. Maybe it's a person's
I have
name.
no idea.
But like, there's been other
like concept
musicals,
albums,
obviously, but yeah, concert albums. But they're usually like performance based, aren't they? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. The only thing I can think of that is kind of remotely similar would be like American Idiot. The Green Day album was made with a Broadway musical kind of in mind, that was later produced. I've never seen the musical, but yeah, no, I don't think there is a lot of things like this where they put out an album and then like release a visual medium with it. But there should be. I imagine there's not, because it's expensive.
It's got to be like, because you can't just put it out to hope that. I mean, and Tommy it's a Ken Russell film with the Who, and it's got like Pinball Wizard. I don't have the audio turned off, but it looks like but it is starring the Who. Oh, there's even a chef from Clockwork Orange. Oh, wow. But it is starring the band, so it is. Well, I'm being silly, because there is things like the Beatles did it.
Sure.
So
Right.
it looks like it's very similar to that, whereas it's not trying to be the Wall, because the Wall seems, and that's if I was paying for that, if I was a studio and I'm going to toss money and I want it, oh, Pink Floyd's going to make a movie, okay, who's who's playing Pink Floyd kind of thing. Oh, it's what band members playing what? Who's it? What's Ringo going to do? What's the drummer going to do? And like, no, we're having a guy we know. He's Irish. He's going to act for once, and we're not going to be in it though. I mean,
Yeah.
who would bankroll that? Because this is like,
You're
I mean,
right.
was Pink Floyd like? Was they the Beatles of the early '80s or the '70s? Were they that big?
I don't know if they were that big.
Yeah, after Dark Side came out, that
Sure.
really pushed them up for way further than what they ever were.
Okay.
And then to have Brick in the Wall, that they were getting pretty big.
So Dark Side, everyone took notice of him and they threw money at him to make him happy.
Right.
So maybe because it's like Dark Side sold so that we could have the Wall. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, no, it is interesting though that what you're saying there is that the band Pink Floyd is pretty detached from this movie. When it comes to like star power wise, like this movie could have just been, made by someone else and was just. I'm trying to think. What's the Mrs. Robinson, where it was
Oh.
Simon and Garfunkel did the
Garfunkel.
soundtrack.
The Graduate.
The Graduate, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it could be a situation like that. I mean, it's not, because Roger Waters was the big creative, driving force for this. But like on paper, this could have just been a movie that was the soundtracked by Pink Floyd.
It could have been the Flash Gordon for Queen.
Sure, yeah.
They could have made it be, because that's a great album. The movie's a movie. I actually dig the flying hell out of Flash Gordon. I'm Max von Sydow and everything else. But then it can't be this thing is like the ultimate multi-million-dollar. Actually, the money doesn't fucking matter. But this is the big budget, big important art film. And it's one of the things that they took a chance on this. This is showing off. This is worth showing off.
Yeah. And I feel like because it's so non-widely available, I feel like there are so many people that would love this movie that will never get the chance to see it, or just don't. It's not even on their radar. Because it's so hard to get your hands on. I was even talking to people at work who had never even heard of The Wall as like the album or anything, but I started humming Another Brick in the Wall Part 2, and they immediately knew that song. And I was like, yeah, everyone knows the music from this. Even if you've never heard of the album, you know the songs. Like you've heard a good chunk of this album if you listen to the radio at any point in your life.
Right.
If you exist in society,
singles are still playing.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, they got Stay Power.
Oh, I heard. Yeah, Brick in the Wall was on the radio like the other morning after I'd watched it, and my first dumb thought is, "Oh, did Jesse request this?" So I could hear, randomly.
That's all I do. I just call on the radio.
Okay, I know he's driving at 7 a.m. I better call it in. Didn't get my dedication.
And Roger Waters was not happy with the movie. He was very disappointed in it.
Really?
Because he felt that I think it was Harper was the director, and he had taken a lot of the time out of it, and he didn't feel that there was the connection to Pink that he was trying to create.
Okay.
That he was not satisfied, put it that way.
Yeah. I could kind of see that, because my most recent viewing this time around, I wish that the character Pink Floyd does more in this movie. He's pretty much in two modes. He's either like hamming it up hardcore in front of an audience of people as a Nazi, and I love that shit. Like so his depiction,
it's hard to watch, but yeah,
it is. But it's so weird and over the top, and like I love the album version of what's it called, In the Flesh, which is the opening, and then later on it's In the Flesh with a question mark, which is like the Nazi version, or it might be the other way around, but regardless, So it is a little bit nails on chalkboard when I hear this version of it because it's so weird. Like, so yeah, might like
Yeah.
like it's so over the top. But I love the performance. And then the other mode that the actor is in is just literally like looking bored out of his mind, either sitting in front of a TV or like there's a shot of him in a coffee shop. Like
Yeah.
there really isn't much for this character to do, and I don't know if this story calls for him to do much more, but I could see Roger Waters being disappointed in that depiction because it really doesn't feel like he's a character until those moments where he is like given into his hatred and leading. I love the hate symbol, synchronized hate symbol dance is just so insane. I love it so much. And it's so obviously so um important. Not what's the word I'm looking for. It works really well in today's like political landscape. This like hateful kind of person spitting out hateful rhetoric towards young people, and either you're a target of this abusive system or you're cheering it on pretty much. And it's that's why I think the third act is probably my favorite part of this whole movie when it goes. And I see a lot of criticism online of like, oh, this is where it goes off the rails. This is where it loses people. For me, I am like locked in 100% at this point on because yeah, I think the set design and the imagery of it is crazy. I love the hammers instead of the swastika.
Yeah.
And like the way that the movie just kind of, and the album for that matter, kind of crescendos into this, Waiting for the Worms kind of leads into this big, chaotic kind of cyclone of noise and in the movie visuals of everything we've seen so far. And why are we here? And then it ends with him just screaming, stop. And like holy shit, it hits so good. And
what do the detractors want? Just have him overdose and have be like the Doors?
I'm not sure.
I mean, if you don't have that ending, the whole movie, the point of the movie is just like, oh, it's a biopic that it hasn't happened yet.
Right.
I mean,
right.
I don't know what they're complaining about. There's without going to that extreme.
Yeah.
The build up to nothing.
I agree.
I mean, yeah.
I think people are a little uncomfortable with like Nazi like drawing a parallel to the Nazis, which I can kind of understand to a small level. Like, it's not that serious, bro. Like, you're not a Nazi, kind of thing. But at the same time, I'm not going to get the same feelings I get when I watch this movie without that like super strong imagery of like this thing that we can all agree as a people is like one of the worst things you can be. And it's just, and again, it's the self-awareness that Roger Waters has, because during live performances of this, because there was kind of like a 3-part thing. It was the album and then the movie and the tour. And the tour also is very visual, very theatrical. And it has Roger Waters dressing up like a Nazi and, and screaming hateful rhetoric into the audience. And really, I think it's almost like this album is, whoa, I just had a realization that probably isn't that deep, but it felt cool. Like, the album ends with the trial of like him tearing down the wall. I sentence you to be exposed before your peers. And it almost feels like this album or this whole project is him being like, okay, here's me fulfilling that sentence. Let me completely throw everything that I am and that I've been feeling into this project and just reveal it to the world and let the people intake it and chew on it and see what happens. And it's just so cool. Everything about this is so very just makes me feel very good about the different kind of art forms that can exist and that can be popular and that can succeed And yeah, it's good shit.
Well, going off your take right there, you genius, you. That would make sense that why Waters would be upset that Pink in the movie isn't more active, because at that point when he's writing it, he had done so much to overcome so much, and to, you know, and
Sure.
to be something. So to have him just go from, it's kind of like you mentioned Stephen King, how mad Stephen King was at Kubrick's The Shining, because it just showed him. It didn't show the dad character be beaten down and then have it turn, and then have the wife be the source of strength. The movie's just, oh, he's psycho from page one, and the wife whines in it and smokes a lot of cigarettes. So like when he sees himself in the character so much, so yeah, if Waters is like, Pink's just throwing stuff at groupies, and then he's a Nazi, I could see him being upset by that. Maybe there's like a whole lot. I also see why you want to cut some stuff back, because it being long-winded in a musical. But yeah, I could see him, you know, you didn't respect my character, which is me, you know, kind of a thing.
Right.
Well, there's another take on that as well, that when you're coming from a home without one of the main parental units, and for him it was a dad, and for me it was my dad as well, because my dad was also an alcoholic and drug addict. So I don't know things because I wasn't taught them. I don't know how to protect myself, so I'm a victim to bullying.
Sure.
I don't know how to act around other people. I don't know how to feel empathy. I don't know how to feel many, many things. And as my life progresses, instead of trying to find who I really am, I mimic other people. I see people laugh, so I know, okay, this looks like it was supposed to be funny. I laugh at this place. And so as I get older, I'm building a character just as Pink was. And he finds that he is more comfortable letting out his anger as this Nazi character. And he's got the wall almost all the way up at this point in his life, that when they have him, when he calls out all the different, the gay and the black, oh my God, the first time I heard that, I was just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That, but you could just, I mean, that was me. That was me. I was a bigot, because not only did I hate everybody else, I hated myself. And I think that relates to that character a lot, that I was a dick. and like you said, he's supposed to expose himself to his peers. That means we have to take that wall down. We have to take accountability for our actions, and we have to start to rebuild who we are. And that's how I relate to that part of his sentence is, hey, you've been a dick long enough. It's time that you come out from behind that wall and be a good human being.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that reading a lot, because I do feel like, it's like, you know, you almost take comfort. It's like the world hates me, so I'll just hate the world, and I'll take comfort in that hatred. And the end of the trial is all about, like, okay, you're done being comfortable. Like, it's time to grow the fuck up and be something more than just like a passive player, you know, in this game of hatred towards one another.
And I think the judge was my scariest part.
Yeah, he's upsetting.
I guess that.
the butthole judge.
That not now, he doesn't judge buttholes. He is a butthole judge. It's two different movies we got going here, guys. That's next week.
Man, we're running real low on time here, so we should probably get into to recommendations. Who would you recommend this movie to, Jeff?
Who?
Yeah, like what type of person would you say? Like, if you, for instance, I would definitely recommend this to anyone who likes, you know, Pink Floyd, obviously, or just music of that time in general.
Well, not only that, I mean, of course, anybody that's into that type of music,
Sure.
You can't go wrong. I mean,
Mhm.
everybody is going to like at least one Pink Floyd song.
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you
Yeah,
listen to everything, you're gonna get one that you like. But like I said, for me, anybody in recovery is going to love this album.
Yeah.
And especially the further on into the recovery as you go, the better it's going to be. You could watch this thing, like you'd said earlier, you could watch this thing 10 times, and each time you're going to come out with something else.
Yeah. 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 And I think more importantly, it teaches it. Like, there's a lot of movies that I love that have so many little details that you can watch it a million times, and every time you're going to learn something more about the movie. But this one specifically, it really, you'll find something new to relate to. You'll find you'll learn more about yourself and the way that you feel, or the way that you maybe developed these negative traits alongside Pink. And yeah, and Jason, as a first time viewer, who would you recommend this to?
Um, someone who hasn't seen it really. I mean, someone's open to who likes to sit back and play music and have like like a chill kind of a night. I was gonna say double feature wise,
Oh yeah.
I'd want to watch this one with itself. I would want to watch it like no, I mean dead serious. I would
No,
want to watch it once,
yeah.
all the way through, and then have a break and then have a little discussion with someone. Have it be like a group thing. Have a discussion about it,
Sure.
and then put it on again, and then talk through it with whoever's in the room, kind of thing.
Oh, I thought you were
Which
gonna say.
most movies don't. Go ahead.
No, I thought you were gonna say double feature with the album itself.
Oh, I can see that too. I mean,
Yeah.
I would honestly, I would probably play. There's a question. Album first, break, and then movie.
I would say
Yeah,
album
I'd probably do it
first.
that way.
Yeah, especially if you
and then
haven't
movie.
if you haven't seen the movie. I'd definitely go album first, because otherwise, I think your album viewing will probably just be the movie again, but in your
Just be a
head.
movie again, yeah. But I mean, I would love to have this if you had first timers watching it. I mean, or in my case, like having just new to it.
Mhm.
Watch it once in silence and reverie. Break, have a discussion, and then watch it again with people in the room that this and talk about certain shots, kind of thing. And what does this mean? And like, I was the idiot. I was going through going, what does this rat mean in the beginning? Is he the rat? Is his dad the rat? Is he trying to save the rat to be him? And then someone in the trivia goes, no, that happened to the one guy, and he just thought it was a good story to put in the movie. I'm like, oh, he actually tried to save it. Like rat had been poisoned. But I was taking that as being like absolutely like that means something, you know.
Oh, sure.
But that'd be like the discussion with itself. But as far as I think anyone who hasn't seen it, and it's got to be someone who's open the experience of like watching a movie. Now, I mean, this sounds kind of like I'm being like snooty, but someone who wants to watch a movie, not listen to a movie, not be on their phone next to it, and not talk through it. I'm talking about someone who wants to sit there and literally watch someone a museum goer, someone who wants to find the beauty in art and watch this, because I mean, you could have a sound off. You could, I mean, it would be an insult to Waters.
Yeah.
But guess what? Your movie, fucking music too. I mean, this was most of Alan Parker's visual.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, going from obviously the kids and the wall, to the musician stuff, you wouldn't get the same thing. But I would. That's what I want to watch it with. I would want to watch it quiet once to see how the visuals go through.
Yeah, that'd be
and then
interesting
blow
watch.
their mind. Yeah.
Huh?
Maybe you should sync it up instead of just take out the audio and sync it up with the audio of Wizard of Oz. And
Oh no shit.
Oh no, like you pointed out, Wizard of Oz is Dark Side. This one you have to sync it up with Wicked.
Oh sure.
there you
the
go.
Wicked
There you go.
soundtrack on top of.
Another thing is, if you are into recreational drugs, this is a good movie to watch while partaking.
I
And
concur.
we're all boring and sober right now, so yeah.
Now I wonder if this is the beginning of the breakup, because Roger quit in '85.
Yeah, that's
So
So
not too
that's
long
after the
afterwards.
movie and the tour. And I don't think David Gilmour was a big fan of it, but I mean, I would love to hear his perspective of it.
Yeah, me too.
That
Mhm.
Was this
and-
so? It was Animals. Was it Animals and then Dark Side and then The Wall? Was that the 3 Roger Water project trilogy kind of thing? I could be wrong about the order of that.
well, it's more than that too.
Well, because then there was Final
Because-
Cut, which was kind of the the walls, the things that didn't make it into the wall. That album.
I'd have to go back and look because I don't remember, but I know that Gilmore didn't even come on until 68.
Yeah.
And then so whatever albums they did from 68 to 85.
Yeah.
So for 17 years.
Yeah, Wish You Were Here's in there too. A lot of good
Yeah.
albums.
Yeah.
Anyways, not to derail us too
David
much.
Gilmour said that he will not perform live Run Like Hell. He said that is the most terrifying song that they ever did.
Why is that?
I don't know.
That's wild. I love that song.
I don't know if that's because of his and Roger's beef.
Sure.
So he's just throwing shade, or if that's a true statement. I don't know.
That's wild. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We're kind of going over time here a little bit, but I figured that might happen with such like kind of a dense movie to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was love this movie. Again, recommend it to. It's one of those things where it's like I don't recommend it to everybody because I know there are people that need a little more narrative
Car
meat.
chase and yeah.
And also, like you said, if you're not locked in on this movie, a lot of it's gonna go over your head.
Yeah, I can't imagine watching this on your phone. And I sound like such like a angry old man, but like this is the one. If this ever comes by like a revival, if Fathom picks it up and plays it in the theater,
man.
I would love to see this in a theater with good sound.
Oh yeah,
that would be incredible. I feel like
I might fall off the wagon for that.
I feel like for legal reasons it'll never happen just because of all the weird shenanigans with the
people
band and stuff.
Yeah,
exactly. But yeah, if it does go to theaters, definitely go and check it out. But yeah, thanks again for joining us.
No, thank you very much for
and
my pleasure.
Non-horror people
my
trying to show us up.
If I can speak English.
Yeah, I was glad I was able to force Jason to watch this, and I'm glad he liked it.
By force, he said. By force, he goes, "Hey, you want to watch The Wall?" I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Well, and then I'm the idiot who goes, "Oh, what's that? Never heard of it." And you're like, "Pink Floyd's The Wall." Well, you just called it The Wall, man. So I didn't know what you meant.
True.
So.
That's right. I could have been talking about the 2017 military movie that kept popping up when I was trying to find this fucking movie.
The game show, yeah. No, this is a fun movie to take apart piece by piece. And figure out.
That's what I was thinking. It'd be a good movie to talk about. So yeah, thanks.
Well, and there's so many visuals that have been used other places that now I know we're actually celebrating The Wall. And I'm not trying to end on a joke, but now I can't. I was mentioning to my wife that now I'm going to watch Matilda the musical, and it's going to be The Wall going through the beginning when they're marching through the halls, and that's a direct lift. That's absolutely intentional.
It's got to be.
It's supposed to be this, so it's just and the shots of the apartment that I know I've seen in other places shot the same way from the sky. Yeah. This is a little bit of history right here. Thank you very much, Jeff.
Yeah.
No problem. Thank you.
But again, Jesse, give me $20 for the DVD I got to buy.
Fair enough.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
All right. Well,
this was a fun little, because my wife will, my much put upon wife will watch all these things. And we had to watch, what was the Velocipaster? Yep. And my wife's like, you can't, no. And then the Dirty Jersey one and a bunch of these things. And I mentioned we're going to watch this off of YouTube, Pink Floyd's The Wall. She's like, I need to watch it. I'm like, no, it's an hour and a half. We can do this. I'll sit and watch it. And she said, and the entire thing, just, oh my God, and this. And she's explaining certain things to me. And I'm like, oh, and yeah, that's the magic of Pink Floyd right now for me.
That's awesome.
This is great. Yeah.
I couldn't keep the album. My kids kept stealing it.
Yeah.
Or Justin threw it out the window.
Right. I think I have half of one of your copies. I definitely have part 2 somewhere on
that's
CD.
right. It's a double album. Going, how did you break it in half? You kept it? But this was the poster all through college. It was the face screaming, the painted one. That I'm going, and I never knew what it was until after college. Oh, that's what that's from. That's so cool.
I had 2 guys while we were in the military. They shared a barracks room, and they painted the entire room white, and then got black paint and did the entire room as The Wall. And then we got inspected every Friday morning.
Damn.
They were also painting again on the weekend.
Whoops.
That's a cry for help. Yeah.
But they did really good. I mean, it looked awesome.
That sounds dope. Yeah, I'm so used to seeing that face, that frozen scream, that seeing it whenever I watch the movie and seeing it in motion, it kind of freaks me out a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
that's your next tattoo there, Jess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll let you go, Jeff, so we can do the intro and outro here. Thank you so much. That was so much
Very
fun.
nice meeting you, guy. Nice
No
meeting you.
problem. Thanks, guys.
All right. That was a great discussion. A little bit of a therapy session for all of us, I think, too.
It was group, yeah.
Yeah. So I would love to hear everybody's thoughts on The Wall. Again, this is a movie that's not super popular, so I imagine there'll be a lot of people that haven't seen it. But I would love to hear your opinions in your first time watching. And if you have any thoughts on the movie, you can hit us up at TDMMVI pod at all of your social media. They're down below. Or you can email us directly at tdmmvipod@gmail.com. Yeah, I think next week, I have no idea what we're doing. So
we should be up on almost Chainsaw Day. So we're getting
it's
close
coming.
to
It's coming.
This there. So it'll be one of these ones coming up really fast.
Oh, I'm so excited. That's gonna be a great episode. Or a couple episodes. Stay tuned.
Couple episodes, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right. Well, until then, I'm Jesse Spitzer.
And I'm J.R. Lees.
And this has been The Devil Made Me View It. Thanks for watching.
All right. Thanks, guys.
The Devil Made Me View It, a horror podcast, is brought to you by Jesse Spitzer and J.R. Lees. Copyright 2026.